Hey, welcome back. I haven't made a recipe video for a while, so I thought I would make some kale chips for you and show you how to make them. I'm gonna take you through step by step so that you can make these at home to replace some of those unhealthy processed junk foods with some whole food vegan snacks that are gonna keep you healthy and satisfied. Alright, so the kale that we're using today is a curly kale, and the curlier the leaves the better. It really helps it to get a little more crispy when the leaves are curly, and the fresher the better as well, so that you don't have some limp leaves to dry up. So we've got one leaf left here. I'm going to show you how I destem the kale. So we're gonna get that into the bowl, but the dressing that is gonna make the kale chips taste so good is going to be made out of bell pepper. We've got a serrano pepper to give it some spiciness. We've got a lime, 2 oranges, and a 1/4 cup of flaxseed. Alright, so to take the stem off of the leaf, first of all, we can just get these little tiny leaves at the end of the stem off right away. Then all you have to do to get the leaf off of the stem is you kind of just grip it right here. And this is actually a really curly stem, so it might be kind of hard, but here we go. So you just pull really quick and it all comes right off, and you can just either compost the stem or you can throw it away or use it in another way. But so now we have our leaves, and they kind of break apart. You want them to be not too big, but not too small. If you can kind of tell how big that is, that's a pretty good sized leaf. But you know, just go by your best judgment. And then we're just gonna break it apart into little pieces, and we should be good to start making the dressing. Okay, so we've got our 1/4 cup of flaxseed. So the best way to use flaxseed, you want to buy it in the whole seed. You don't want to buy the already ground up flax, because once you grind it, it's going to start to oxidize and it's going to lose some of those beneficial properties. So grind it at home if you can, and grind only as much as you need at the time. So we're going to put 1/4 cup of flaxseed into the Vitamix. And we're gonna blend this before we put the rest of the ingredients in, because we want it to be into like a powder so that it helps the sauce stick to the leaves. All right, so I blended the flaxseed down. I'm not sure if you can see it in there. Now it's in a powder form. So again, that's gonna help it to bind to the kale leaves. And now we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients. We've got the 2 oranges that I've already peeled. Throw those in. I'm gonna throw in 1 lime. And this is a 1/2 of a bell pepper. It's probably a 1/2 cup of bell pepper. And then we've got 1 serrano pepper. So it's gonna be a tangy, spicy kale chip. And it's gonna have some really good properties to it. It's gonna have omega-3s from the flax. Also, a lot of people don't realize that dark leafy greens like kale also have a good ratio of omega-3s to omega-6 in them, so that's a really good food to eat. And then, vitamin C from the bell pepper and the citrus, some of those beneficial properties we get from the spicy peppers as well. So there's a lot of great things to appreciate about a snack like this that you can feel good about eating and giving to your family. All right, so here is the dressing after it's been blended down. It's nice and thick. I just gave it a taste test and it is delicious. Pretty spicy. I put in that whole serrano pepper with the seeds. So if you don't want it quite as spicy, you don't have to put those seeds in there. But you should know that once you dehydrate these kale chips, the flavors in the dressing are gonna kind of balance out. They're not gonna be quite as intense. So, kind of go with what your taste preference is, but do understand that the flavors will balance out as you dehydrate them. All right, so we're gonna pour this onto our leaves here, and just in the little time that it's taken to get this on here, the sauce has really thickened up. Again, because of the flax, it is just such a good thickener. It's great for using in cooking or baking, you know, all that stuff, but it's also good for making some delicious kale chips. Okay, so to get it covered, to get the sauce covered on the leaves, you're really just gonna have to get dirty. Using your hands is the best way to do it, and you just kind of gotta massage it around, really get in there and massage those kale leaves. It's gonna help to really coat them as good as possible. And you wanna make sure you get all the surface, you know, the surface of that leaf. You want it completely covered so that it's as delicious as possible. All right, so now the kale leaves are completely covered. You know, this recipe actually, I could have, for this much kale, I could have used maybe another orange to really boost the amount of sauce, because for kale chips, you want to have as much sauce as possible. Then when it dries down in the dehydrator, it's really going to be nice and crispy and full of flavor. This is going to work. These are still going to be really good kale chips, but they could use just a little more sauce if I were to make them again. So make sure you make more than enough sauce. You might make more than you think you're gonna need, but when it comes to kale chips, more is better. So we are laying these in a single layer. You don't want them touching each other or piled on top of each other. You wanna make sure that they have enough or as much airflow as possible going to them. That's gonna help them dehydrate evenly and as quickly as possible. And sometimes if it's a really like big leaf or a flat leaf, sometimes you gotta fold it over onto itself. And then that's gonna help it stay nice and crispy and dehydrate down really well. So here are the 2 full trays, and we're gonna stick these into the dehydrator at about 105 degrees. That's gonna make sure they keep all of their beneficial enzymes and nutrients intact, and this snack stays raw and healthy. All right, so we're gonna put these into the dehydrator, and this is gonna stay in for about 24 hours. You know, generally 24 hours is pretty safe as far as getting a good, you know, fully dried kale chip. And really a lot of different things that you dehydrate, whether it's apple chips or banana chips or flax crackers. 24 hours seems to work really good for me. So that's kind of the general rule that I use when I make any dehydrated snack. So we're gonna put these in. I'm gonna turn it to 105 degrees, like I said, and I will show you what they look like tomorrow in about 24 hours. All right guys, so I just got done with work and I am ready to dig into these kale chips. It's been about 24 hours or right around there, and they should be perfect now. I didn't mention before, but I'm using a Excalibur 9 tray dehydrator. You know, there's the little logo there. But this is the only dehydrator I've ever used, but from what I've heard and through my research, it's one of the best ones out there. So if you're looking for a dehydrator, I would recommend this one, as it has done a great job for me. So let's get these kale chips out of the dehydrator so we can start snacking away. There you are, they look perfect. Delicious. All right guys, so quick taste test here to finish this video off. Jack likes it too. Delicious, perfect snack for you and your family. Really healthy and simple to make. It really doesn't take that long. you know, 24 hours, but you're out doing stuff, come back home, and it's all ready for you. So, hope you guys enjoy this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. If you're interested in coaching, definitely check out the description box of this video, and you can check out my information there. But until next time, guys, always follow your raw intuition, and I'll see you next time.
Detoxify your mind and body. Be the change you want to see. Small steps towards living better. Small steps to where I want to be.